Welcome to another Catholic Context Microclip, where Catholic apologetic points are presented in short video clips. Brought to you by Apologetics.com. Did you know the New International Version, or NIV Bible, is the #1 Bible used by Protestants? It is a Bible compiled and translated by Scripture-alone Protestants for Scripture-alone Protestants. These Christians dismiss tradition as a source of truth because they believe it is not scriptural. Why? Well, let's look at their Bible for an answer. The NIV New Testament uses the word tradition 12 times within it. Each time it is used, it is translated from the Greek word paradosis. This Greek word literally means to give over, either by word or in writing. In other words, it means tradition. NIV correctly translates this Greek word in Matthew and Mark, when Christ rebukes the Pharisees for enforcing human tradition over the ways of God. It also correctly does this in Colossians and Galatians, when Paul writes about human tradition. But there are 2 times when the NIV conveniently translates the Greek word paradosis to something other than the English word tradition. Those 2 times the NIV translates paradosis to teachings instead of tradition. It does this even though everywhere else the word teachings is used in the NIV, it is translated from a completely different Greek word, not paradosis. However, for some reason, the NIV, out of nowhere, translates paradosis, the word for tradition, to the English word teachings in 2 places. What are those 2 places? Both are in 2 Thessalonians. The first occurrence is chapter 2, verse 15, where Paul tells the Thessalonians to adhere to the traditions taught either by word or letter. And then again in chapter 3, where Paul says to keep away from those not living in accord with the tradition Paul taught them. Why would the NIV inexplicably change the translation of paradosis in these 2 places only? It does not take much to realize that the NIV does this because both verses in Thessalonians support the Catholic belief on tradition and dismiss the Protestant belief of sola scriptura. Some questions to all who read the NIV. If God is divinely perfect and the scriptures are divinely inspired, why would Paul use the Greek word for tradition in Thessalonians? Also, if sola scriptura were an accurate doctrine, why would the NIV have to manipulate the translation of paradosis in these 2 places? Something to think about. This message is sent in charity and fraternity. Sacred Heart of Jesus, have mercy on us. The analogy apologetic here. If you found this or any of our videos beneficial, please hit like and subscribe, and please remember to click the bell too for reminders. Also, don't forget to visit www.analogyapologetics.com for free video resources just like this.